Hello, hello, hello. This is the ADHD for the Win podcast. I'm Chris Ferdinandi. Thanks so much for joining me. Today, I'm talking about my favorite second brain tool, MS To Do. And I say my favorite, I mean one of my favorites. It's the one I used for years. I've since moved on to other things, but I still think it's a fantastic choice. So let's talk about that today. There are a lot of options for a digital second brain, but MS To Do, Microsoft To Do, is, in my opinion, the closest thing to a paper to-do list you can get while still getting all the benefits of having a digital system. Most apps do too much. I've tried a lot of to-do apps over the years, and they're all too much. You know how it is with an ADHD brain, right? The tool becomes a thing you play with and configure instead of actually doing the tasks on your to-do list. Things like Todoist and Notion and OmniFocus, they're all way too feature-rich for my ADHD brain. Microsoft To Do is a Goldilocks app. In MS To Do, you can create lists, group them into collections, add items to them, and add subtasks to those items, mark them as complete, add some notes to the to-do so you have a little bit more detail about what it is, and search. Using MS To Do is basically like pulling out a tiny notebook and jotting down a bulleted list of items, except it's digital and it's always with you on every device. The real winning feature, though, is the Today Smart List. You can go through your list, or they actually have a thing where you can view all of your to-dos in one spot, and you can go through that if you prefer. And then you just swipe or click on them to add them to this special Stuff to Do Today list. They remain in their original list, but they show up in this special Focus on This tab without all of the noise. And this is where I would normally put like my big rocks or the things that I want to get done just that day. And then at the end of the day, the list gets wiped out so you can start fresh the next day. And they make it easy for you to like add things you didn't get done the day before back on, but you're starting fresh every morning, which is awesome. So I used MS To Do for probably a decade. I actually used it before it was MS To Do, back when it used to be Wunderlist, before Microsoft acquired them. So why did I stop using it? Because I've moved on to something else now. I stopped because I wanted an app that would let me commingle to-do items, like proper checkbox to-do items, and non-to-do bulleted list items, like a bullet journal style note-taking, in one spot. And you can sort of do it with MS To Do, but it's clunky and reorganizing things is a little bit difficult. And I write heavily in Markdown. I wanted something where I could paste in code snippets as notes, and the formatting in MS To Do leaves a little bit to be desired. I still think it is an absolutely fantastic choice. I would recommend it to anyone in a heartbeat. And honestly, if they had something like Markdown support and the ability to create list items in a slightly different way, I'd probably even consider going back to it. For now, I use something different, and I'll talk about that in another episode. But if you're looking for just a really quick, simple, easy to-do app to get started with, MS To Do is, in my opinion, one of the best options for ADHD folks. Anyways, that's it for today. If you want more tips like this, I send out a short email every weekday on how to unlock your neurodivergent superpowers. Head over to ADHDFTW.com. That's ADHD for the win to sign up. That's it for today, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.